Okay, Lorenzo Holloman.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Lorenzo Holloman. I'm with Keller Williams Realty. I'm here on two folds. One is I have quite a few clients, homeowners that live in the 212 area, Holland, where they're building the new 170 unit, and they see where all this investment is coming into the Wakefield area. All these properties are being converted, and all this population is coming in, and there's no resources for our children. There's no resource for our kids. This is the only community that I know that doesn't have a community center. You know, I'm dumbfounded by it, you know. I grew up in Harlem. We just basically opened up a brand new community center in East Harlem, James Weldon Johnson Center on 13th and Lexington Avenue, and we fought hard for it. As people that grew up in the projects, we demanded it. We demanded that they were going to have something for our kids. Now, I'm working along with the group, you know, one person being Aaron Davis, former lightweight champion, who grew up in this neighborhood, who owns a facility in Morris Park. Also, I'm working with Bob McCullough, who, for some of the gentlemen, they've been running the Pro Rucker Park operations for the last 40 years. Myself, in the 90s, throughout the early 2000s, I owned the largest fitness center in the Bronx, which was Parkchester Fitness Center, and along with a couple other doctors. Currently, I do real estate with Keller Williams, and my focus is to show families how to stop giving our properties away. You're selling your properties to people you know is going to develop it into skyscrapers, and then you're going to walk away, and at the end of the day, a year or two, then you basically have very little left. You know, I show families how they can take their properties and basically develop them themselves. If you're going to sell, own something for life that you can pass on to your kids and your grandkids, and that's something that we basically do. Right now, I'm working with the client that's looking at the CVS drugstore on Burke Avenue as a retail operation. But after hearing so many complaints for some of the families that I've worked with in the last 15 years in the Wakefield area, I'm basically talking to the owners of the property of making that into a community center. I'm gonna pass around, this is basically renditions.
Okay. That's okay. I just want to make a comment before you leave. You are correct. The Harlem community has many more community centers, and for whatever reason we do not. I think that our development, I think for a long time what has happened is we did not develop, and all of a sudden we're overdeveloping. So we take your information. We're going to incorporate it into our committee structure and try to, in terms of our
let me
land
just give
use
you a
committee.
brief idea of what we do. I run the senior program in our Harlem facility. You know, some of us, I say we used to play basketball. We walk up and down the basketball court now.
I got you.
Okay, but we also do a lot of programs with our young people.
Okay.
I personally teach an entrepreneur class for teens. You know, I have about 30 kids that from 10 to 17 that have awesome ideas, and basically I've been doing entrepreneur class for teens in Parkchester and throughout the community since the early 90s. And our kids, in my opinion, are our promised land. And if we don't invest in them, you know, the thing that gets me, and I'm gonna make this short, is that we have all these projects in the Wakefield area that's coming into our area for only one reason only. This is the largest area of color that's a middle-class community. This is a working-class community, a Caribbean community. Everybody's part of it. It's a changing community. but no other community are they basically bringing in all these complexes into.
Okay, so
And where are all the people going to go?
okay,
And where are our kids going to go?
we're going to have to cut you because we went over
Okay,
2 minutes, but we
apologize
do
for
appreciate,
overtaking it.
no, that's okay. We do appreciate your input, and we're going to talk a little more.
Thank you for your time.
Okay?
Apologize
Thank
for
you.
overrunning.
That's okay.